you?
Hi, good. Thanks. Hi, Charan. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So we're back again here. That's
So
good.
from last six
Um,
months of festival is going on, Invitation Festival.
yeah, there's so many festivals going on nowadays.
Yeah,
Like,
and
so how's
people are,
everything?
and people are expecting more the same rounds in the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And the very important news today as well. So we're going to discuss a lot of information. And as
Yes.
we want to keep this session so interactive with all our viewers. We just want everyone to make sure do comment your location as well, so we know exactly where you guys are watching us from. And any information provided in this session is actually for education purpose only. I would suggest anyone seeking any particular information about their case to seek a professional advice from a registered migration agent or an immigration lawyer. Furthermore, my name is Saurabh, and I'm a registered migration agent with Global Vision Migration. So we do have offices in Melbourne, Canberra, and New South Wales in Sydney. And then we are a team of 8 to 10 people. We have a total of 3 migration agents and a combined migration experience of more than 30 years. So rest assured that you guys that are in professional and good hands in terms of your cases. And then, as you know how, Charan, we always start our session with positive and good news, that what achievements we have got since the last time we did a session. And then there are plenty actually. There are a lot of good news that we have received so far, and then I'm more than happy to share those with all our viewers, because we do talk about all the migration updates and stuff, but most importantly, in our live sessions here, we discuss about the positive things that we have done, like the total visa grants we have received, the nomination approvals, the skill assessment outcomes, etc. So this actually motivates a lot of people as well, and we have helped like so many people, hundreds of people now from Australia to do themselves, whoever needs their assistance with their permanent residency or even student visas or anything. Um, so yeah, without wasting too much time, we'll dig in. As you know, it's a very short session, like 30 minutes or so. So we'll try our best to give as much information as possible. So far we have actually received quite a good number of visa grants and nomination approvals, especially for the department has like started to process 482 visa applications. So temporary skill shortage, 482 visas. So we have a bricklayer nomination approved this morning, and a cook nomination was approved yesterday, and a visa was granted as well. We had an engineering technologist, which was nomination that was approved like 2 hours ago, and we had a 189 visa granted this morning. Yesterday we had another 190 actually granted for that was for a civil engineer, and then what else? There was a chef that was who received their 482 visas on Monday. And then there was this nomination approved for a what's it called? It's a building occupation. It's a paver, so for them as well. And then we also had a quite a number of what's it called? A The invitations from Victorian State Nomination State Authority. We received quite a number of invitations, and also from New South Wales in the last round as well. So, and also we had a Canberra nomination approved for a marketing specialist for 190 as well. So and then also we had a 491 for one of our Australia followers actually. So the client actually we got him a 491 because he applied 491 last year. He had a very he was sitting at bare minimum points, and then and apparently when he was overseas, he went overseas, and then without getting a bridging visa B, and he called me. He's like, "Oh, I thought I can come back on a bridging visa A," but to his luck, he was at the airport, and the very next day we got his 491. So he's already back here now as well. So look, a lot of good news coming through for a lot of people. and I'm glad that we managed to help so many people from Australia to do as well. Early childcare teachers, engineering technologists, telecom engineers, civil engineers. They received quite a number of invitations from Victoria. Plus, we received a 189 for that was speech pathologist. So yes, there is a lot of I can't even total tell you all like how many of those visa grants that we have received so far. So there's quite a number of and I'm quite glad that that our clients actually put so much trust in us with all their applications. And the best part is when we see the grant notification and the approval of nomination. So that's the best part about what we do.
Yeah. So Saurabh, can we add people in this live session?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get people in.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll have a chat with them. And
before that, and congratulations for all your successful visa grants, and you and your team are working very hard, like helping a lot of students. And thank you so much, Global Vision Consultancy, and your staff as well. So before like adding the people, like there is one question: 190 processing times have changed. Will be the change in coming months, or will stay the same?
I think they're going to keep the way it is, and it has been so far so good. Government is getting good response from a lot of stakeholders, etc. So I would suggest they're going to keep them the same, and then that will actually help them in the long run as well. Because obviously, if the government is performing really well in the first year, I hope they keep the same momentum moving forward.
Okay, like we got another question from Naresh. Hi, I applied NSW 190 in July as onshore applicant. I moved offshore after applying. It has been 8 months since I applied. Do you think moving out of Australia is the reason for delay?
Moving out of Australia has got nothing to do because you applied as an onshore applicant and then you are currently sitting overseas. You can wait overseas as well. There is no issues at all. People do tend to go overseas on a holiday, etc. Sometimes they go for a longer period of time. And yes, people can come back as well. And then obviously time duration do vary from case to case as well. Some cases are actually decision ready applications. So they are so when we lodge an application, we try to do it as a decision ready. That means the case officer only have to just tick the boxes and then give us the outcome. So we don't leave them that they would have to ask for more information down the track. So that's very important as well. A lot of people do not understand that as well. They try to submit the visa with as much information as they can, but they didn't realize that they don't have all the necessary information with them. And that sometimes, actually get the delayed in the processing of the visa application too.
Okay, thank you, Saurabh. And we got another question, like any pathways to PR for public health specialist?
So public health, obviously, health officials are currently getting 190 invitations as well. Most important term with the public health is they need to understand what's their occupation. And based on that, they will certainly be able to get that sorted. So say, for example, there is a primary health organization manager, primary health, there is a lot of different public health occupations as well. So you will need to see exactly what kind of roles, duties you are doing, whether you have a skill assessment in that sector, and then only you will be able to get things sorted. So if you do have any doubts or anything in particular, I would suggest you to give us a call and stuff, and then we can certainly see how we can help you.
Yeah, I think one student left. Thank you, Saurabh. Like, we got another question. Can we expect 189 visa for 80 points in South Australia?
What's the occupation, guys? Most importantly, mention your occupation. Points doesn't matter for some occupation, and it does matter for some. So very important is if you do putting in any question, etc., just do mention your location and your occupation, so we know exactly where you are and what points you are sitting at, etc.
Okay. I think Saurabh, today we got one important update.
So the most important update today, guys, let's discuss that. First of all, the professional year. A lot of people were actually, they were in despair when they received the invitation in the month of December. They were quite happy. And when they were actually about to launch the application, they realized that the professional year they can't apply for it because of the fact that the professional year points were invalid at that point. However, today, the department has advised one of the peak migration body that professional year points can be counted from the end date of professional year, from the completion date instead of start date. That gives a lot of people more hope, more time for them to be able to apply for their permanent residency down the track. So it's a very good, I would say, a step towards the, this general skill migration program. However, there are some speculation that, people are telling department that there should not be any expiry date on a professional year, same like a qualification. So let's hope that the government do look into that as well. However, 4 years from the end date of professional year is still not bad.
Okay. I think we have. Hi, Srikant, bro.
Hi, bro.
Hi, bro.
Hi, Srikant.
Hi, Gaurav. I got a question for you. I got nearly like 90 points except for the skill assessment right now.
What do you mean except for the skill assessment?
I have applied my skill assessment on December 8.
What's your
occupation? So what they for network administrator.
Okay.
So what they were saying is people who have applied for skill assessment after December 4th, their skills would be assessed starting from January 31st. That is yesterday.
So who said that?
ACS guys, today morning I called them. So they said it will take another 10 to 12 weeks from January 31st.
We haven't heard anything like that from ACS, and we are getting ACS outcomes. The reason being, every assessment authority is taking way longer than usual is because people were not expecting any invitations for 189 or 491s. And when there are 35,000 invitations sent out in the month of December, everyone wanted to apply for it all over the world. And that's what happens now is some of the assessment authorities have even stopped doing priority processing. They are refunding money back to the people that, sorry, we can't do priority. Take your extra money back and wait for the your normal assessment. And I know people are very, desperate to apply for their EOI because they might have a round in the next week or so. And you don't want to lose that opportunity. The thing is, if you lodge an EOI, obviously at the time of lodgement of your EOI, at the time of invitation, you must have a valid skill assessment. And if you don't have a valid skill assessment, then that invitation just goes down the drain. There is no point at all.
But my doubt is that, for suppose if I apply 189, I'll have 60 days of time to submit the documents, right?
So that's the problem. That's the problem a lot of people do not understand. You must have a valid skill assessment at the time of your invitation, the time you receive the invitation.
Okay.
It's not that you have 60 days to provide those documentation. The date of that assessment should be before that date. That's very important as well. And then there is a case law that people are trying to put in, the THAPA case law, where the person had their skill assessment which was expired, etc., and they managed to apply. That person's case was completely different than what you are trying to do.
Okay.
So your case facts, must be same exact to the similar case. Your scenario must be similar to that THAPA case. However, it's not. So that's the problem as well. Do not fall into those, there's a lot of rumors going out there as well on various groups, etc., where people say that, oh, you have 60 days to apply. Don't worry, just lodge an EOI, etc. No, that's not the case. Once you get invited, that's the best part. But once you get a visa refused because of the fact that, you haven't got the right documentation, then there's nothing you can do. You might feel very sad and despair about it. You might lose hope, etc. But don't, fall into those shortcuts.
Yeah, got it.
All right.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Like literally, so many students are doing mistakes with their EY because they are applying by themselves and they're committing mistakes. A lot of my friends also like they got mistakes in their EY. So, what
Yeah,
you suggest to those people who
yeah.
apply?
So people like trying to do obviously expression of interest. A lot of people do it themselves. I would suggest them to actually use a professional in order to do that. The reason being is there's a lot of factors in place. There are some times where you can't claim work experience. There are some periods where you can claim work experience, etc. So that's the thing as well. You have to be very careful in what you can claim and what you cannot. Some people do not understand that point, and then they actually end up claiming. Sometimes people do claim points for their bachelor's qualification. Look, I had this client who received invitation in the month of December. However, they thought that their bachelor's was actually the same level as Australian bachelor's. However, it wasn't. When I checked in our system, we have a special system where we can actually check the level of your overseas qualification, and it was only equivalent to an advanced diploma. That means they won't be able to claim 15 points. They can only claim 10 points. If that person would have applied for their 189 visa, it would have definitely get refused. So that's the thing as well. People do not understand that they think that they have bachelor's, 3 years bachelor's, that it will be equivalent. However, that's not the case. It's very important that you need to check your qualification as well, whether it's actually equivalent to an Australian qualification framework, bachelor's qualification or not.
Yeah,
And this is just a one thing in an expression of interest. As you know, expression of interest is like a whole thing where you can actually, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, etc. So you have to be very careful in what you do.
yeah. Thank you, Saurabh. And guys, please be careful. Like, please consult a specialist while applying your EY visas. Um, like we got another question, Saurabh. Hi, I would like to apply for assessment for my bachelor's in IT and would like to process for a 491. Which state would be better?
Um, I would like to apply for an assessment for bachelor's in IT, like process for 491. So currently, obviously, there are different states. Different states have different requirements as well, where you can certainly be able to, claim points, etc. Um, so currently, Victoria is a very good option, I would say, for a lot of people. If you are not working at all, you can still apply in Victoria. You don't have to be working in your own nominated occupation. A business analyst can also be working as a chef, cook, or even as a restaurant manager in order for them to apply for Victoria State nomination. I recently got a telecom engineer, a 491 from Victoria, and that person wasn't living in Victoria. He was living in New South Wales.
Oh,
So people were surprised that how did that happen? Yes, things can happen. So that person was, and he wasn't even working as a telecom engineer, working as a retail manager in a retail shop, and
okay.
wasn't even living in Victoria at all. Was living in New South Wales. So that also, things do happen. We can make things happen. So yes, people can certainly get this thing sorted. And what else? What other? So yes, the chances are, great
Yeah.
for such occupations.
Because a lot of students they moved from here to other states like before last year, and everyone is
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
yeah. People are trying to come back to Australia. Recently I've seen that as well. They're coming back to Victoria too because they know that if you don't want to come back to Victoria as well, other states also have a very good option. So you don't feel bad about it. You certainly be able to get that sorted. So no stress about that at all.
And there is a one other question, Saurabh. Like lot of students, they are like while filling the ROI, they're putting the annual income, like they including the superannuation also. Like it.
Um, okay. So when it comes to the annual income, I know people do tend to make a mistake when it comes to that as well. Obviously, annual income, it does not include your superannuation. It includes your wages or any penalties that you're doing, like overtime, etc. And if you're working in a sales, maybe your commissions can be added as well. Or some people also do some salary sacrificing. They can include that bit, but not your super.
Yeah. So like we got another question from Sai Krishna. What are the chances for ICT security specialist in terms of Victoria 190 and 189? What is the least points recently got invited with this occupation?
So 189 people need at least 85 points for 189. And for 190, 65, 75 points are also good enough in order for you to get the invitation.
Got, we got Josna here.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hi, both of you. Hi, Gaurav.
Saurabh.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. So basically, I'm living in Sydney, and I've submitted for my UI for the occupation telecommunications and network engineer with 189 for 85 points and 190. Including state nomination, it's 90 points, but I'm not working in my nominated occupation. I'm working as a test engineer. So can you please tell me the probability?
So are you in New South Wales? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm in New South Wales.
And at how many points are you currently sitting at? Oh, I think she dropped off.
Yeah,
so the chances for IT occupations are quite good as well for New South Wales. However, we saw that they are actually doing rounds in a different way. Like last week they did a round where they invited trade workers at lower points, and I think they might do a round in the next month. So in the month of February itself. And then they were, previously they had work experience requirement. However, they removed that experience requirement. And then a lot of people were actually managed to get invitations from New South Wales government last week itself. And most importantly, guys, if you haven't got your skill assessment, get that done straight away. Do not wait at all. A lot of people do wait that, okay, once my friend gets it, then I might look into it. Even though if you have arrived recently in Australia on a student visa, you can certainly get your skill assessments done as well. And then you can also be eligible to apply. So be very careful. And so a lot of people I've seen, they say like, oh, I'm sitting at 95 points. However, you don't have a skill assessment with you. What are you going to do with those many points? You can't do anything. So that's just, waste. Sometimes people think that, okay, I've done masters in IT and now I have to wait for my PY to finish and then only I can get a skill assessment. No, you don't. If you do have a bachelor's of engineering for at least 4 years degree or 3 years, you can still get a skill assessment from Engineers Australia in some circumstances. So, the choices are plenty, and then you can certainly be in a position to get the skill assessment done. And another thing is, I've seen like a lot of people, they're not sure like how to claim points, how to count points as well. So on our website, we do have, if anyone just Google PR points calculator, so we do have, it will point you towards our website where you can actually be able to calculate your permanent residency points, and certainly you can see what points you are sitting at. So since we have everyone on the phone, I think I should just show them all how they can actually count these points as well.
Yeah, sure.
So if you go to our website, which is just this gvm.com.au, we will put that up there for everyone, so you guys can actually be able to check your points. I hope everyone can see. Can someone just say that yes, they can see, so I know.
Yeah, yes.
They can see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So now if you go to PR points calculator, you can just mention your name, and I'll just put my phone number and my email. I'll just quickly show people how they can actually, so there's a lot of people who checks points there as well. And I always make sure that this is actually up to date. So, and it gives you the right information as well. So say, for example, if you're applying for a 189 visa, obviously, your occupation needs to be in MLT SSL list in order for you to be eligible to apply. And then obviously, then we have age, we have English language, overseas work experience, Australian work experience, education qualifications, Australian education qualification, specialist if you have studied masters in research, etc. And then NATI, then partner qualification, and then PY. So if you are sitting in between 25 and 32, you get the maximum points for that. You get 30 points for it. For 190, obviously, you know that you get extra 5 points, and 491 you get 15. So let's just aim for 189. So a lot of people do want to know about the 189. Now, as you know, you need a bare minimum competent English, at least 6 each in IELTS or 50 each in PT in order for you to be eligible to apply for 189 or any general skill migration. However, advisable to get at least 8 each, so you can claim up to 20 points for it. So that's 20 points there. So 30 and 20. Now, if you have overseas experience, you know, you need to have at least 3 years of experience to be eligible to claim 5 points. If you're less than 3, you cannot claim points, so it's 0 points. Now, Australian work experience. So if you have at least 1 year of work experience in Australia, you get 5 points. If you have more than, so if you have 3 years, you get up to 10 points as well. So let's just consider you have 1 year of work experience, so you get 5 points there. So if you have a doctorate degree, you get extra points. If you have a bachelor's degree, you get 15 points. And look, it clearly says the bachelor degree from an Australian education institution, or from another education institution that is of a recognized standard. That means that it must be equivalent to an Australian qualification framework. So it's 15 points there. Now, if you study for at least 2 years in Australia, you can claim Australian study requirements in some circumstances. Now, you don't have a master's degree by research or doctorate degree from Australia, so you just say no. If you do study from Australia, you can certainly, if you study from regional, you can claim extra 5 points for regional studies as well. Now, if you have a NATI qualification, you can get extra 5 points. And then most importantly, if you have a partner and the partner has 6 each and they actually have a skill assessment as well, they can certainly be able to claim 10 points. And if you don't have a partner, or if you have a partner who is an Australian citizen or a permanent resident, you can claim 10 points as well. And if your partner has a competent English, they certainly be able to claim 6 each as well, 5 points for that. Now, if you do a professional year program, you can certainly be able to apply. You can certainly be able to claim for extra 5 points as well. So now overall, if you look at your score, that person would sit at around 95 points out of 155. 155 is the total score. So 95 points in total. That's actually a very high score to get an invitation. As you can see, 30 points for age, 20 points for your English, 30 points and then 5 for 2 years of work experience, 15 for bachelor's qualification, 5 for, the studies, and 1 year of work experience, NATI, PY, etc. So that person is sitting at 95 points for 189. And previous round, people get invitation at 85 points. So that's a very good points, in order for you to get the invitation as well. So if anyone wants to check their points, they can certainly head on to our website, which is www.gvm.com.au. I'll put that in the chat as well. So people can, I'll put in the chat so you guys can actually go and check your points and then see, where do you stand, etc.
Yeah, and also please share that link, Saurabh, so that we can put it on our story as well as a link.
Yeah.
So that click on it and they can see their points.
Perfect. Yes, I'll get that sorted for you guys. I'll send that across. Yeah, because I know a lot of people do not know how to count their points, and even they are overseas, etc. And it's actually a very good option for them to see where they stand.
And Saurabh, we have Pranit here. Hi, Pranit, bro.
Hi. How are you guys? Yeah.
So Saurabh,
I have. Hi, Saurabh. It's nice talking to you. I have a question regarding the skills assessment. I recently got my 189 invitation and I lost my visa, but the thing is, my skills assessment is going to expire on 9th of February, so which is like 8 days from now. Yeah, I don't know.
What was your skill assessment? What was your skill assessment in?
ICT business analyst.
So it's valid for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you haven't got a new one yet?
No. Is there going to be a problem?
And when does your current visa expire? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Can you come up again? Say what's the issue? Like, what visa have you applied?
So I got invitation for 189.
Mm-hmm.
And I already lost my visa 10 days ago.
So you got the invitation in the month of December, right?
December, yes.
So was that minimum 85 points? How many points did you had?
I got 90.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, and then that skill assessment is going to expire soon. Is that what you're saying? So
Yes.
that's fine because it must be valid at the time of invitation. As long as it was valid at the time of invitation and it expires the very next day, that's totally fine.
Okay.
You don't need to grab a new one.
Yep. Yeah. That's just my question. So thank you very much. Because I wasn't sure if I have to get another assessment or not. So yeah. But
Perfect.
Yeah.
No problem
Thank
at
you
all.
very much. Thank you, Charan. Thank you, Saurabh. Yeah.
No worries at all, man.
So a lot of questions are coming. It's going down. So Saurabh, I got few questions in Messenger as well. Like, can we expect 80-85 points, like 189 and 1 for Victoria, and overall 189?
Yeah. So say for example, for obviously, as you know, the last invitation round, the points were sitting at 85 points. That was quite a lot of people did receive invitations as well. I don't think the points would go down because if someone is getting a lot of people already at 85 points, then there is no point. There is not a such massive demand for many occupations anyway. So 85 points are also good enough, and many people do manage to get up to that easily. So I don't think that the points are looking to go down for 189. However, for 190, yes, they can go down.
Okay. So we got another question from Venki. I have RPL certificate in community services for 2 years. I have 1 year of experience as a disability service officer. Can I apply for 190 visa?
Most importantly, in order for you to apply for any general skill migration visa, you need to have a skills assessment. Certificate qualification is also important. However, if you do not have a skill assessment, you cannot apply. Skill assessment is the gateway to any of these visas. If you do not have that assessment, you certainly will not be eligible to apply at all.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I think you dropped out before.
No, I think there is some network issue here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Please go ahead.
So I was mentioning that I'm working as a test engineer, but my master's degree was telecommunications and network engineering. So that is the nominated occupation. I have already submitted my UI, and the points which you have asked, it is 189 with 85 points and 190, including state nomination. It's 90 points. I'm living in New South Wales. So
And what was your bachelor's?
Bachelor's is electronics and communication engineering.
And then you've been working in IT sector as a test analyst from long.
Yeah, test engineer. Yeah.
So a lot of people do tend to get a skill assessment based on their bachelor's as well. If you do have relevant qualification, relevant work experience, and then you can also be able to get a skill assessment, from ACS too, based on your bachelor's qualification. And if you do have enough 2 to 4 years of work experience. Obviously, as a telecom engineer, yes, you have already got a skill assessment and you can certainly be eligible to get invited from NSW as well. 85 to 90 points are quite good points. And we have seen New South Wales do invite people at those many points because they now, most of the states are being quite easy because they know that the government actually invited people at 189 points. So most of the people who are actually wanting to get 190, they didn't get 190, they just applied for 189 instead. So yes, you are in the right track as well. So let's hope that you do get the outcome that you are seeking.
Yeah, I'm just worried if I'm not working in the nominated occupation, right? So I'm just worried regarding the experience points.
There is no requirement in New South Wales for you to be working in a nominated occupation anyway. You don't have to be working in a nominated occupation. They removed the requirement quite a while ago.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for the confirmation.
No problem.
Thank you.
So Saurabh, like we got another question. Like so many people are also wants to know about this. Like how long it now it take for skill assessment? It's taking time.
Yeah, skill assessments are going to be taking way longer than usual. Um, Even some assessment authorities who offer priority processing, they have actually stopped doing priority processing at all completely. They are even letting people to have a, giving them the money back for priority processing, not even processing it the way it's supposed to be. Now it's just a standard process, which taking the 6 to 12 weeks to get an outcome. However, I would suggest people is, if you think that your assessment gonna expire in the next 6 months or 3 months time, apply now. Do not wait until like 1 month, 1 week, etc. Get that sorted, get that ready just in case. You don't want to, if you don't get the invitation now, certainly you might be in a position to get the invitation later. However, if you do not have an valid assessment, that invitation, would be no benefit to you at all.
Okay, thank you, Saurabh. And so, what are your services now you are providing to students for immigration?
So yes, so exactly. If anyone needs any further professional assistance, they can certainly contact me through our website, and then I will also put my WhatsApp number. So if you are overseas or if you want to discuss anything, you can certainly contact us through WhatsApp as well. And most importantly, all the followers of Australia Aludu, they can use the promo code AUSALUDU, AUSALLUDU, where they can actually be able to get 25% off their our consultation fees, and then and then we can certainly be able to assist them as well.
What, Rajesh?
Hi, hello, both of you. Am I audible
Hello?
to you?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I just have a quick question. So I got recently married, and my wife has 3 years of experience in India, as she is an assistant software developer, and her bachelor's is electronic and communication engineering. So can I climb 5 points on her experience or not? She has exactly 3
So
years and 1 month of experience.
so that's a very good question. A lot of people do want to know whether the experience, points can be claimed as well, etc. However, people need to understand one thing as well. ACS do consider bachelor's of EC, electronics and communication, as major in computing. And any experience after that, certainly in some circumstances, can be used as well. However, it all varies from a case to case basis. You would need to see exactly what her qualification transcripts were and what the duties she did, whether the qualifications was quite relevant to the role that she did as well. So there is a lot of factors that do come in place as well when it comes to situation like, claiming points for such work experience, etc. So there's a lot of things that we need to consider when we do claim points as well. And, if I talk about my personal experience, I have one cases where department has actually said that, oh, you have wrongly claimed experience. They have refused the visa, and we went back to the department. No, we are right. You are wrong. And then the department has actually considered that plea as well, and then they have actually granted the person visa back again. That okay, we understand that that a case officer made a mistake. So yeah, so you have claimed the right amount of points. So that's the thing as well with claiming work experience. I recently made a video on TikTok. A lot of people do commented on it. They wanted to know exactly, because there is no right and wrong answer. That's the thing, because it's all legislation, it's all law. There is no right and wrong answer. It's all how you present it to the department. I hope it clears your doubt.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. That's my doubt.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
So thank you, Saurabh. Like,
No problem, Charan.
and last question, like, what about the professional year? Like now everyone is getting invitation, like the new students who completed their masters, they want to do PY. So you guys are offer any PY courses?
Yeah, so we do offer a lot of, we do have every single provider for professional year as well, no matter which state you are in, which territory you are in. And we do have we have, 8 to 10 staff members. They do speak multiple languages: Telugu, Punjabi, Nepalese, Hindi, Thai, Vietnamese, Mandarin, any languages you say, they speak those languages. So yes, and then obviously we don't charge people to get their course changed, to get their professional year admission, etc. And when the person do actually register through us, through professional year or any coursing as well, and then we do guide them through the whole process. They tend to talk to me. I talk to them on a regular basis. I guide them through, explain them, okay, have you done your PY? What have you doing? And then we push them to do their PT, etc. Otherwise, people do get lazy. It's like we'll do it when the PY finishes. No, we push them to do it right away. We get them to do the NATI and etc. So yes, there's a lot of opportunities. That's why we tend to people to get things done. Obviously, we don't charge people for that service, obviously, and it's easier for them to have a constant touch with us as well during the journey, during the process, during the PR pathway process as well. So yeah.
So you got any packages, Saurabh, from TR to PR?
Yeah, so we do that as well. There's a lot of options available where we do guide people who are currently on a student visa. We explain them. A lot of our clients, even sometimes they don't even end up going to temporary residency stage at all. We try our best to get them some pathway for permanent residency sector if that's what their goal is. A lot of people who come, and we help them with their employer-sponsored visas as well. They bring their employers to us. We discuss these options with their employer. We prepare a strategy for them. And then the employer, once they do agree to sponsor them, and then they get things done. They sponsor them, then they keep them there. So a lot of people, from student visa, they go on to 482 visa, and then they eventually end up on a 186, which is permanent residency. So yes, there's a plenty of options available for a lot of people out there.
Thank you, Saurabh, for your valuable information, and I hope everyone got their answers. And guys, so if you miss any your questions, please contact GVM Consultancy on their Instagram, and they are on TikTok. They posted updates TikTok like on all their social media every day. Please follow, and we'll put their WhatsApp number in our stories. Please contact them, and also we'll post the story regarding your point checking. And please check your points. And please, while you are doing any EOAs, please contact specialist before you do, because a lot of students are making mistake and they are sending message to us. So please, and thank you once again, Saurabh.
No problem, Charan.
And
Lovely talking to you all. Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.